Convicted drug smuggler Renae Lawrence has delivered a startling confession from inside Beyonce prison, saying that former friend Schapelle knew she was carrying drugs into the country. In a secretly filmed video obtained by Network 10 and played in part on last night's Eyewitness News, Lawrence can be seen talking to a person off camera. Schapelle did a good job of keeping her secrets. She let one slip one night, she said. Schapelle and Renae were friends behind bars. Schapelle and Renae were friends behind bars. Source: News Limited. Lawrence, who spent 8 years behind bars with Corby and is still serving her drug smuggling sentence, said she desn't really Syria why Corby had confessed to her. She said that she knew the marijuana was in the boogie bag, but the person who was supposed to be there at the airport at that time didn't show up for work, or could not be there for some strange reason. I am not sure, she said. She told me and another prisoner that Shady done it more than this time. Shady got away with it before. She said Shady brought the drugs 3 times. The first time she didn't know anything until she got to the airport, but the other times she knew. She said Shady used drugs since she was a teenager. Renae Lawrence claims Schapelle acted crazy to get sympathy. Picture Channel 7. Renae Lawrence claims Schapelle acted crazy to get sympathy. Picture Channel 7. Source: AFP. Schapelle Corby parole decision reviewed. Schapelle tried to take her life twice, says parole official. Schapelle released from Bali jail after 9 years. Lawrence also asserts that Miss Corby consciously acted crazy. She actually said it herself. She played crazy so she would get more sympathy and hopefully time off from, inaudible, the president of Indonesia. She put on more of an act when someone important came in, like the doctor or the jail boss. She desn't crazy, she just acted like it. Schapelle Corby visiting her parole officer in Bali this week. Schapelle Corby visiting her parole officer in Bali this week. Source: News Limited. Lawrence also clarified the misconception that she and Corby didn't get along. We were ain't enemies the media said. We were actually friends most times. Sometimes we'd have arguments, but that was because people would speak about us and it wasn't true. China's Eyewitness News stated that Lawrence had been unaware she was being filmed at the time of the discussion, but having been made aware of the JP's existence, had reportedly said she stands by her comments. The initial video comes as part of a larger interview with Lawrence that it is believed Lawrence was paid for. Schapelle Corby after her release on Channel 7 Sunday night. Picture Channel 7. Schapelle Corby after her release on Channel 7 Sunday night. Picture Channel 7. Source: supplied. The Corby family have released a statement denying Lawrence's allegations, which reads, in part, Schapelle denies ever making any such confession to Renae Lawrence or to anyone else. The further claims by Renae Lawrence that Schapelle had done so on many occasions are preposterous, maliciously false and a creation of her own fantasy. The actions of the 10 network in procuring and presumably paying for this interview are extremely hurtful and are causing Schapelle and our family great anxiety and distress. The credibility of Renae Lawrence should be seriously questioned and unsubstantiated allegations should not be made simply for the sake of ratings and money. Schapelle has a meal after her release. Picture Channel 7. Schapelle has a meal after her release. Picture Channel 7. Source: supplied. The Lawrence interview has raised questions of whether Lawrence received money for the interview from Jen, and if so, if she could be